G'day YouTube, how the heck we doing? It is Foul Play here and we're back for some more Pioneer action. So today we're going to be testing out the Mox Amber variant of the Pioneer list. So this just allows you to hit your turn 2 creature, then get an extra mana source and play a 1 mana aura onto your creature, potentially triggering either the Light Pause or the SRAM. So this should hopefully be a little bit strong. I'm not sure, I haven't tested it yet. To make way for the Mox Amber, I cut the 1 Aganja in the main deck. I cut 1 Skrelv, and I also cut 1 Cartouche Solidarity to include Curious Obsession. Hopefully Curious Obsession is pretty good for us. In the sideboard as well, compared to Bennett Madsen's list, I've cut down from 3 Portable Hold just to 1. I've gone from 2 Hushbringers up to 3 and from 1 Beseiju up to 2. So hopefully this deck does well for us. We'll get into the action. Alright, match number 1, we have won the die roll and this hand does not look very good. So we're going to go ahead and mulligan for something better and a good old no lander. Alright, down to few resources right off the bat. Opponent is, of course, keeping 7 cards. So now we see this hand with no white mana. Oh god, if we could guarantee a plains on turn 2, it could be pretty good. I think mulling to 4 is pretty low likelihood of us actually doing well, so let's just go ahead and keep this one. We'll just risk that. Bam bam. Lead on forest and pass to our opponent. Looks like we're versing humans. Recruitment officer right off the bat from our opponent, and well, no mana there, so no point continuing really. Yeah, not much help on that front. Alright, so this is a humans deck, very similar to the one that Takumi did it quite well with in the Pro Tour. You can see the recruitment officer there, that's not one of the important ones. Hopeful Initiative is an important one. Remove 2 1/1 counters from among creatures you control, so that's any creature, not just the Hopeful Initiative. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. This is main deck. Additionally, also Brutal Cathar main deck, interacting with our creatures, and Ossification also interacting with our creatures. From the sideboard, there's potential for Portable Hull, and that should be the most of it. Hopefully they don't know what we're playing because we conceded early. Reminder guys, if you enjoy this video, find it entertaining or informative, please consider subscribing. Alright, so we absolutely most definitely want our Hushbringers here. That's what they're in the matchup for. It's going to help shut off our opponent's creatures. I'm not certain on what to sideboard out. I thought I had an idea, and then I rewatched the semi-final that Benton played in, and he kept his Generous Visitors in. So not entirely sure. I'm going to take out 1 Sentinel's Eyes, 1 Light Pause, and 1 All That Glitters. Alright, and this hand has got our absolute best creature in it, but almost no auras. The mana confluence isn't great. We are somewhat close to resolving a Gigantha though, and that would be pretty strong. Just weak into Brutal Cathar though, right? Yeah, it's like really bad into Brutal Cathar and Ossification, so let's... Oh, come on man. This is a fucking joke. Opponent is keeping 7 cards. Alright, what a surprise. We'll ditch 1 mana confluence, and I think the Cartouche is slightly better than the Audacity, although maybe we're supposed to bottom a land in this spot. Let's bottom a land. Alright, fingers crossed. I'm just going to go in with Generous Visitor and try to go to town. I think if we're trying to rely on Skrelv, it's going to be pretty poor outcomes for us at that point anyway. So recruitment officer from our opponent. Alright, well that's not too bad. That's pretty awful. I mean the card's fine, but I would much prefer a land source, and then next turn maybe drawing the Grispoon, but definitely out of order. So we can attack with the Generous Visitor. We've got this warrior token on defense for the recruitment officer. One thing I noticed when I was watching Benton play Takumi in this matchup was he was quite conservative with his life total, even right from the start. So like a warrior token to block out recruitment officer, he'll sequence that over like an Audacity for the extra damage or things like that. Looks like our opponents played Kithian, so this is not Takumi tech, this is new tech. And yeah, all the glitter's not super helpful for us, but we're going to continue to go in on this generous visitor. We're going to continue to attack with it. No blocks from our opponent. We do put them to 11. All right, and Luminarch Aspirant from our opponent. So when they attack here, yeah, so this one can flip at the end of combat. They're going to have to put the 1/1 counter on Kithion to get that flip effect so that it will turn into the Planeswalker. Otherwise, we can block this and kill it before any of that resolves. So we'll take 5 points of damage. That's actually a fair bit. This gets like the goat ability, so the Generous Visitor has to attack Gideon. That's kind of frustrating. And they're untapping their own creature until your next turn gains Indestructible. Alright, well that's a big chunky Indestructible, and we do find Ethereal Armor off the top, so let's just continue to assume that our opponent has no removal for us. It's going to add a fair bit of damage. It's not quite lethal, but I think putting them to 1 is pretty good, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that before we overthink anything. And there's going to be a block from the Indestructible Recruitment Officer, so we'll put them to 2. Hopeful Initiative off the top, and another one. Alright, well, we've got enough trample and power to take this one, so fortunately for us, we're going to go to a game 3. Oh, this is... oh, no, Gideon's goaded our creature. Never mind. Apologies about that. And Luminarch Aspirant buffing itself, attacking with both these guys. Alright. Take that. Hey, look, right on time. Wait a minute, that's not right on time. Let's start diversifying these Generous Visitor tokens. Also, the Grisburn can diversify as well. Forced into attacking Gideon. No matter what the Hopeful Initiatives do, they can't prevent enough damage. So Kithion into the graveyard. And another Luminarch Aspirant. So opponent's not going to have the 3 mana for this activation on Hopeful Initiative. And we should just be able to take this one pretty easily. Alright, so that's 6 power here, 7, 8. We're on 11 health and training triggers. So that puts them up to 10 damage, correct? I guess we might as well trade off with one of these guys. Oh, this guy can't block anyway. Never mind. I keep forgetting this card can't block. Anyway, we go to 1 and let's just go ahead and finish him off. Opponent concedes. It's probably a little bit foolish taking out a Sentinel's Eyes. Let's take out the Curious Obsession. Vigilance is most likely an important stat here. Alright, this is the best hand we've seen. We don't have First Strike, we don't have a second mana, but we definitely keep this and hope to high roll what we can. Another downside is the land source is Mana Confluence, which can deal a lot of damage to ourselves. Alright, so Mana Confluence off the top, not helpful just... sorry. Sentinel's Eyes off the top, not helpful just yet, but that is a good one for later on. Is this a destroy effect? Well, it's nice that it destroys and that it does not exile. Hopeful Initiative attacking in. Alright, and second main we see Athalia. Oh god, no, not like this. Oh god. Well, we're not having much luck with our draws this game. Consistency-wise, our deck is looking awful so far in this first match. And Portable Hull on the Generous Visitor? Sure, whatever. Attacks, training. We're like super far behind here. I'd be amazed if we were able to get out of this. That is a good start. Opponents missed a land drop, so they're guaranteed to have 4 spells in hand currently. I think if we play Light Pause here, it's very likely that she just gets removed. But I think if we don't play Light Pause here and we don't gamble on this creature, we're just stone dead. So let's go for the gamble. In which case, like Sentinel's Eyes, fetching up an Ethereal Armor would be really, really good. It's just another portable hull. Yep. Doesn't even have to work hard for it. That's such a shame, man. Another hopeful initiative. Another training. Yep. That land is not overly helpful. Wonder if they got the third portable hull. I wouldn't put it past them. They did make their third land drop this time. 2 cards left in hand. We're almost past the worst of it, but our life total is just too low at this point. Alright, opponent attacking with everything. 3 mana up and instant speed active there. 6 damage. Well, that's 6 damage isn't dead, but I don't see how we get out of this one, so we'll take that lot. Going all the way down to 1. And Giant Killer from our opponent. Okay. That's just got to be a little bit of a middle finger here. Of course, we can't cast Rune of Sustenance because it costs 3 to cast. And that's just us dead. Oh, I hope you enjoyed the matches nonetheless, everyone. Make sure to let me know what you thought of it in the comment section below. Would you have mulled to 4 in that first game? Who knows? Maybe that was the right line. Anyway, until next time, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you then. Cheers for watching.